Let's talk next about hurricanes then. Do you think there have been more and worse hurricanes in recent years?
I believe so.
And why do you believe so?
Because I've read all about it, and I mean, Katrina...
And where have you read about it?
Well, in papers, in studies, and books.
So it would surprise you to learn then that what the data show from the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration is that there has been no increase in land-falling Atlantic hurricanes on the United States coast for 150 years. You'll be surprised to learn that.
It would be so lovely to believe it. It would be so great.
Right, very good. All of these facts I'm giving you, of course, you can check independently, and I'm not making any of this up. Why should I? So here is my next question. Were you aware that the combined frequency, duration and intensity of all the hurricanes, typhoons and tropical cyclones around the world reached its lowest point in 30 years just 2 months ago?
I'm very surprised to hear that, yeah.
What is interesting to me is that you don't know any of the facts about the climate at all, and yet you are wanting to change it in a particular direction. Can you explain why?
Okay, I think we're talking of different planets. I mean, you're talking about a planet where global warming doesn't happen, and I'm talking about a planet where it certainly does happen.
But forgive me, I talk about a planet where if I want to know whether global warming is happening or not, I check with the people who keep the actual data. I don't go to the newspapers or to Greenpeace. Why don't you go and check the actual data rather than believing, as a matter of faith, what is in fact a matter of science?
But I have faith in organizations like, for instance, Greenpeace.
Why?
And I don't have, I mean, I have a private life as well, and I have a job life, and I don't have the time to check all, or to call the University of, which one was it?
Well, if you want to check the Arctic and Antarctic ice records combined into a global ice anomaly, you go to the University of Illinois. There's a website called Cryosphere Today. It takes 10 minutes to look it up.
Okay,
So my concern here is that you are campaigning about something which, if you'll forgive me, you appear to know absolutely nothing about.
But I mean, the majority of the world and the scientists then, in your eyes, doesn't have anything or doesn't have a clue about what they're talking about. Is that
when you
what
say
you're
the
telling
majority of scientists, how have you established what the majority of scientists think?
Well, I'm reading papers and I'm listening to people who have something to say about global warming.
So you have not actually interviewed the majority of scientists? You have not seen any survey which has interviewed the majority of scientists?
No, of course not.
So you're guessing?
No, I'm not guessing.
Well, once again, see, in the room where I have just been, there were something like 50 scientists, not one of whom believes one thing or another about science. They check. Because, let me ask you this question.
But I mean,
If you were to discover that everything that I said to you about the climate, that we've had global warming, global cooling for 9 years, that we have had less hurricane activity recently than at any time in the last 30 years, that there has been no change in the extent of global sea ice, or virtually no change, for the last 30 years, would you think that therefore the organisation that you believe in has misled you?
No.
In other words, even if I proved these things to you, you would still prefer to believe a political line given out by an organisation rather than the scientific facts?
No, I would have to check it for myself first, and then we should talk about this again.
Right.
Okay?
Well, I would like to say I'm most grateful to you for having given me so much of your time. I do beg you not to believe either me or anyone else on this, but to do exactly as you've just said and check for yourself. And when you do, I think you will find that you are addressing a non-problem. Thank you very much.
We will see.
Thank you.
What's your name again?
My name is Christopher Monkton.
Okay.
And your name is?
Talking to you, Christopher. Kirsten Blodig.
Kirsten.